Hello everyone, my name is Jivesh and I welcome you all to this official YouTube channel of CUET-𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 shall start our class. So here are basically some books and authors that you can see. So we have basically classified these books and author into some different sections. Like the first section is your books written during the freedom struggle, which is an important section. History में भी आप इसको पढ़ते हैं, modern history में specifically 19th century, 20th century में some of the important books of the freedom fighters, they are being asked in the papers again and again. And then there is another section which is books written by the British Viceroys. It is also an important section, I would say, कि जो ब्रिटिश वॉइसरॉय थे उन्होंने जो भारत में बुक्स लिखी, एंड देन पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस कुछ बुक्स की भी बात करेंगे जिसमें हम देखेंगे जैसे प्राइमरीली जो इंडियन पॉलिटिशियंस देयर बायोग्राफी, एंड देन वी विल आल्सो सी सम बुक्स व्हिच आर बायोग्राफीज रिलेटेड टू स्पोर्ट्स. So these are such important subtopics, I would say, in books and authors which are very important. Otherwise there are lots of books, lot of authors who has written a lot of books, तो सारी तो आप नहीं कर सकते obviously. And in the end, in one more video we will discuss some of the books which are currently in news. Recent time में जो books लिखी गई हैं उन पे भी बात करेंगे. तो आइए शुरू करते हैं हमारी क्लास. तो सबसे पहले देखिए, अगर हम बात करते हैं, हमारा पहला सेक्शन जो है that is books written during freedom struggle. तो these are some of the important books. सबसे पहले बात करेंगे हिंद स्वराज. तो it is a book that is being written by Mahatma Gandhi. Keep it in mind, very important. हिंद स्वराज was written by Mahatma Gandhi. All right. Then there is one more book which is Anand Math, very important. Anand Math was written by Bankim-Chandra Chattopadhyay. Very important book. You have to keep it in mind. Third is your Discovery of India. Discovery of India is a very important book that has been written by Jawaharlal Nehru. It also has been a part of the school curriculum. So some of you might have also read this book. So it is very important. Then there is one more which is India Wins Freedom. India Wins Freedom is the autobiography of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who is also regarded as the first education minister of India. So he has written this India Wins Freedom. As we move ahead, we see here there is this book which is Gitanjali. Gitanjali, for which Rabindranath Tagore has been awarded Nobel Prize in 1913. He was the first Indian to receive the Nobel Prize for his work in Gitanjali. Then there is one this very famous book, and papers में बहुत बार ये पूछी गई है. This is your Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Poverty and Un-British Rule in India was written by Dada Bhai Nauroji. Very important. It basically analyzed the economic impact of the British rule. जो economic drain था Britishers का, उस पे जो है इन्होंने focus किया था इस book में. Then there is one very famous book which is being written by Bhagat Singh. This is Why I Am an Atheist. A very important book. Why I Am an Atheist. So keep it in mind, this book is written by Bhagat Singh. All right. Then there is The Story of My Experiments with Truth. Very important. It is the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi, probably one of the most important one for your exam. The Story of My Experiments with Truth. It is the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. We have just saw one more book by Mahatma Gandhi, which is the first one. It is Hind Swaraj. All right. And then there is this The Story of My Experiments with Truth. This is the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. Then there is this Essay on Indian Economics written by M.G. Ranade. Essays on Indian Economics. Mahadev Govind Ranade is an important social reformer of the 19th century, and he has written this Essays on Indian Economy. Keep it in mind, very important. Then there comes the next book, which is again very important. It is Unhappy India by Lala Lajpat Rai. Lala Lajpat Rai, who was also known by the name of Punjab Kesari. He was a great freedom fighter from Punjab, so he had written this Unhappy India. Then there comes the next book, which is being written by a very famous name, Subhash Chandra Bose, and name of the book is your The Indian Struggle. The Indian Struggle is written by Subhash Chandra Bose. The Indian Struggle is written by Subhash Chandra Bose. Very important. All right. Then there is Satyarth Prakash, a very important book by a very important social reformer, socio-religious reformer, that is Dayanand Saraswati. Keep it in mind, Dayanand Saraswati has written Satyarth Prakash. Keep it in mind. Next, Neel Darpan. Neel Darpan is a play basically. All right. It is written by Deenbandhu Mitra. Important book. It is basically highlighting the plight of the indigo farmers of the Bengal. Indigo farmer movement in 1859-60. The play was based upon the situation of the farmers in that region in Bengal. So Deenbandhu Mitra has written this book. It is very important. Keep it in mind. Bande Mataram, it is a poem which is being written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. It is very important. National song भी इसको हम जो है adopt करते हैं. And then there is Bal Gangadhar Tilak has written Gita Rahasya, a philosophical book है Gita Rahasya. Let me tell you one thing, all the books that I have made the list of, these are some of the most important books and the books which have been asked previously in various exams of various states and various central level exams. So these are basically PYQs. You would say that these are the PYQs, the previously asked question on books and authors. All the books, some 40 odd books I have brought here. All of them are asked in some point of time in some exam of your state or in center at any point. All right. Next is Indian Home Rule. Very important. It is basically written by Mahatma Gandhi. Keep it in mind. This is the third book. So Mahatma Gandhi से रिलेटेड 3 बुक्स होगी. एक तो होगी ऑटोबायोग्राफी महात्मा गांधी की, ठीक है, एक्सपेरिमेंट्स विद ट्रूथ, द स्टोरी ऑफ माय एक्सपेरिमेंट्स विद ट्रूथ. देन देयर इज दिस इंडियन होम रूल, इंडियन होम रूल एंड हिंद स्वराज जो है, इट इज द हिंदी वर्जन फॉर इट. इंडियन होम रूल इन हिंदी meant हिंद स्वराज. इंडियन मीन्स हिंद, होम रूल मीन्स द स्वराज. सो दिस इज Mahatma Gandhi and his advocation for non-violence and self-reliance by Mahatma Gandhi. So I suppose I have told you 3. It is basically the second book, the earlier that we have seen, Hind Swaraj, that is Indian Home Rule in English. All right. Next book, we will move on to next book, that is My Indian Years, a very important book. It is by Annie Besant. Annie Besant, the founder of Theosophical Society in India. Annie Besant. It is very important. Keep it in mind. Annie Besant. And then Patriots and Partisans by Lajpat Rai. Lala Lajpat Rai has written one more book that we have just discussed, that is your Unhappy India. And there is one more, that is Patriots and Partisans. Patriots and Partisans. All right. Then there is A Nation in Making. The next book is A Nation in Making, a very important book and an autobiography of Surendranath Banerjee. Very important. A Nation in Making. It is very important. Surendranath Banerjee, a great freedom fighter. Then there is Towards Freedom, a compilation of freedom movement documents edited by S. Gopal. Towards Freedom, not that much of a highlighted book, but you have to keep it in mind. So these are basically all the books that has been written during the freedom struggle. All right. During the freedom struggle, all of these books have been written by the various freedom fighters, and these books have been asked multiple times in your exam. All right. Okay. So we will move on to our next question, that is books written by the Indian Viceroys. Now this also became a very important question. Books written by the British Viceroys in India. Okay, so Problems of the Far East, very important. Lord Curzon. You see here there is one more book that is being written by Lord Curzon, that is India in Transition. Both are very important. दोनों पहले पूछी गई हैं बहुत बार एग्जाम में. You have to keep them in mind. Both India in Transition, authored by Lord Curzon, detailing administrative changes. It is very rare कि आपको इस तरह से पूछा जाए कि किस बुक में किस बारे में बात करी गई है. इसमें मैंने थोड़ा डिस्क्रिप्शन लिख भी दिया है किसी बुक का, but that is not important. You will be only asked that which book is written by which author. All right. So it is Lord Curzon has written these 2 books, Problems of the Far East and India in Transition. Very important. Keep it in mind. Lord Curzon, 1898 to 1905. These are the years in which he was the Viceroy in India. The story of the integration of Indian states. The story of integration of the Indian states. The last Viceroy to India, that is Lord Mountbatten. Very important. The last Viceroy to India, Lord Mountbatten. Very important. The last Viceroy to India, Lord Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten has written the story of integration of the Indian states. Then there comes the next, a study of Indian administration, Lord Dufferin. Lord Dufferin. Lord Dufferin, 1884 to 1888. He has written this, a study of Indian administration. Very important. Important book, a study of Indian administration. Then Speeches on Indian Questions, written by Lord Lytton. A very important name, Lord Lytton. 1876 to 1880, he has been the Viceroy in the following years. Speeches on the Indian Questions. Speeches on Indian Questions. All right. Then there come next, Indian Unrest, Valentine Shirole. He was, however, not the Viceroy. He has written Indian Unrest. Very important. He has also regarded Bal Gangadhar Tilak as the father of Indian Unrest. All right. So that is very important. Indian Unrest has been written by Valentine Shirole. Then there is next, which is written by W. Hunter. He was also not the Viceroy, but he has written The Moral and Material Progress of India, not that much of importance. Then there is one more by Lord Curzon, that is Indian States and Princes. Keep it in mind, two books are there which are Problems of the Far East and India and Transition. The third one is your Indian States and Princes. Important book, Lord Curzon has written them. Recollections of India, Lord Dufferin. Again another book for Lord Dufferin, who has also written A Study of Indian Administration. Alright, there is one more book from Lord Curzon, that is Letters from a Viceroy. Now this is very important. This is an important book that is to be asked in your exam. Letters from a Viceroy, Letters from the Viceroy, written by Lord Curzon. So we have we saw four books that are being written by Lord Curzon. One is the Indian State and Princes, Letters from a Viceroy, Problems of the Far East, and India in Transition. Keep them in mind. There is one more book which is being written by Lord Curzon. Here you can see it is The English in India. The English in India. This is also written by Lord Curzon, not that much of an important book. W.W. Hunter has written this, The Political History of India. Then there is Lord Dufferin has written an autobiography of an Indian Viceroy. It is important. Lord Dufferin has written this, an autobiography of an Indian Viceroy. Important. Keep it in mind. An autobiography of an Indian Viceroy. It is written by Lord Dufferin. Important book. Very important book. An autobiography of an Indian Viceroy. Alright. So these are basically the books. Then there comes the third section, which is books written by Indian politicians. Alright. Books written by Indian politicians. So following are the books. First is your Discovery of India. We have already saw this. It is written by Jawaharlal Nehru. India Win Freedom. We have already saw this. Why I am an Atheist. Annihilation of Caste. Experiments with Truth. We have already saw this. Mahatma Gandhi. There is one book which is Annihilation of Caste. B.R. Ambedkar, and a very important book. B.R. Ambedkar and a very important book. Alright. Then there is a book written by Glimpses of World History, which is being written by Jawaharlal Nehru. It is very important. Glimpses of the World History. Very important. Alright. Then we move ahead as The Problem of Indian Rupee, a very important book. It has been asked in many exams. A financial analysis by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, The Problem of the Indian Rupee, very important. Both the books written by B.R. Ambedkar, that is Annihilation of Caste and The Problem of Indian Rupee. B.R. Ambedkar is very highly regarded in our history as the father of the constitution. So the books written by him are very important as far as your paper is concerned. So these two are very important book. The problem of Indian Rupee, its origin and solution, B.R. Ambedkar, and Annihilation of Caste. Keep it in mind. We have seen Unhappy India. We saw the Indian struggle, that is by Subhash Chandra Bose. And we saw the Hind Swaraj or Indian Home Rule, that is by Mahatma Gandhi. Then there come one more book. Rajendra Prasad has written this, India Divided, a very important book. Rajendra Prasad, who was also the President of the Constituent Assembly, as well as the first President of our country. So he has written this, India Divided, a very important book. All right. Okay, so we will move on to our next question, that is Essays on Indian Economics. We have already seen this, M.G. Ranade, right? Then there is Atal Bihari Vajpayee has written this, Happiness, important book, Happiness, written by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Ram Manohar Lohia has written Socialism in India, a great socialist leader, Ram Manohar Lohia. Keep it in mind. This is very important. Ram Manohar Lohia has written this Socialism in India. So it is an important book. You have to keep it in mind. Then there is one more, which is The Philosophy of the Bomb. Important. The Philosophy of the Bomb, a revolutionary text by 𝗥𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗀. Keep it in mind. Most of the time, the options that are given in this particular for this particular questions includes Bhagat Singh, The Philosophy of the Bomb, but it is not the answer. It is 𝗥𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗀. He has written this, A Philosophy of the Bomb. It is an important book. All right, very important. So there are certain biographies which are written post-independence. All right, and most of them include politicians. All right, biographies of Indian politicians. First is Narendra Modi, the man who remade India. It is a biography of Narendra Modi written by Ramesh Menon. See here, written by Ramesh Menon. Very important recent books, the books which are in news for last 5 years, 7 years. So these are the books. Then there is Indira, the life of Indira Nehru Gandhi, written by Catherine Frank, a very important book to be asked in paper. Catherine Frank has written this, the life of Indira Nehru Gandhi. The life of Indira Nehru Gandhi. Catherine Frank, a very important book, keep it in mind. Then there is An Ordinary Life, a memoir, the autobiography of Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Autobiography of Nawazuddin Siddiqui, An Ordinary Life, very important. Then come the next. There is I Am No Masiha. It is written by okay, so this section I think I have written here that it is an autobiography of Indian politicians. Okay, so these are some mixed autobiographies. Post independence, some of the prominent names in the country, these are the mixed autobiographies of those. So I Am No Masiha, it is written by a Bollywood actor, that is Sonu Sood. Important, asked in exam. The Accidental Prime Minister, the book on which a movie was also filmed. So it is The Accidental Prime Minister. It is a biography of Manmohan Singh and it is written by Sanjay Baru. Very important. It is written by Sanjay Baru and very important. It is being asked in paper. Then there is Beyond Survival, Emerging Dimensions of Indian Economy, written by P.V. Narasimha Rao. P.V. Narasimha Rao, who was a former Prime Minister of India from 1991 to 96. He is known for his LPG reforms, the opening up of Indian economy during his years. So it is very important. He was the Prime Minister when LPG reform took place in 1991. So P.V. Narasimha Rao has written this and it is an important book. Then there is My Country, My Life, Lal Krishna Advani, very important. Indira After Gandhi, Ramchandra Guha, important book. India After Gandhi, sorry, India After Gandhi, I have mistakenly read it Indira. It is India After Gandhi, a historical account by Ramchandra Guha, very important book. Citizen Delhi, a very important and a famous book by Sheila Dikshit, a memoir by Sheila Dikshit, who was a former Delhi Chief Minister. All right. One Life Is Not Enough, a biography of Natwar Singh, a former politician. Natwar Singh, his biography is One Life Is Not Enough. All right. Then comes the last section, that is books and authors, some of the more important books, which also include some fictional books as well. All right. So first is The God of Small Things, and there are philosophical books, fictional books as well. So it is by Arundhati Roy, a very proclaimed author. Arundhati Roy has written The God of Small Things, very important. And this book has also brought her the Booker Prize, the prestigious Booker Prize. So it is very important. Then there is this collection of stories which is Malgudi Days, which has often been the part of our childhood also. Okay. Malgudi Days, it is very important, a collection of stories by R.K. Narayan. It is Malgudi Days, very important, keep it in mind. Then there is one more which is written by 𝗔𝗱𝗃𝗀𝗁 Singh, a very proclaimed author, Train to Pakistan, book written on the partition event, a historical novel written by 𝗔𝗱𝗃𝗀𝗁 Singh, and great patron of English literature. All right. Then there is The Inheritance of Loss. It is a Man Booker Prize winning novel by Kiran Desai, The Inheritance of Loss, important. Then there is Gitanjali, we have already saw this. It is the book that brought the first Nobel Prize to an Indian. Then there is The Suitable Boy, Vikram Seth, one of the longest in English book. And there is Blue Umbrella. Blue Umbrella is a children's book by Ruskin Bond. This might be important. This book can be asked. The Blue Umbrella. It is written by Ruskin Bond. Keep it in mind. Then there is India, a history. John Key, not that much important. There is Midnight Children. This is a very important book. Midnight Children, it also got a Booker Prize and it was being written by a very famous author, that is Salman Rushdie. Very important. Keep it in mind. It is very important. Then there is one more. This is your Wings of Fire. Wings of Fire, it is very important book and it is the autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam. Wings of Fire is the autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam. All right. So these are all the books that we have seen. All of the rest of the books are same. These are in the form of the questions. So that is it. All we have for you today. And keep studying, keep learning, and do subscribe the channel CUET Nimbus. Thank you so much.